My lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Made for Love, and today we're looking at what's happening with your person. Now, in the extended, we're going to look at what's happening in your connection, how they think and feel about you. If there's a third party, we're going to see what's happening with that connection. We're going to look at the dominant advice that they're getting about you and from whom, and we'll look at their next actions towards you. But in this public reading, we're going to look at how they're feeling, what's happening in their life, what's occupying their thoughts as a priority, what's happening with them spiritually. And we'll get some advice for you, okay? All right, so let us get into this reading. So the first thing I'm going to do, let's get a significator for their energy at this time. Just generally. We have the Fairy of Youth. I feel like a kind of rebirth with this card, okay? It's a card number 32, which reduced to 5. And 5 is about our foundations, our family, or intrinsic beliefs, or the things that we were taught to believe. And I feel like they're going through a rebirth where that is concerned and how they're viewing life, their family, that kind of thing. And that's been a consistent message that we've been getting. 5 is also about learning spiritual lessons, and it's interesting that that would come through as the overall or underlying energy, rather. Because this morning I was trying to sign into one of my accounts. I'm not going to say which, just for security purposes. And I had to reset my password. And every password I tried, every combination I tried, they were like, it doesn't meet the standard or the corporate policy, blah, 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 and it kept going like that. I tried about 10 things and it just would not work. Anyways, I decided to try, I don't know where I got it from, Closing Karmic Cycles number 2. Boom, it got accepted. And I was like, that is a bloody message, because I tried every other thing under the sun, and that is the password that it accepted. So it feels like this is what your person is doing, because they're shifting their perspective, and because they're going through this renewal process, it's allowing them to close off a lot of karmic cycles. But remember, it was by 2, so you are closing off karmic cycles as well. All right, so let's get a significator for their energy. We have the remembrance, remembering who they are, and remembering who they are through hard lessons. We have a card number 55. 5 is a hard card, okay? It's learning lessons through pain, right? It's learning lessons through adversity, through challenge. You know, let's think of all the 5s, the 5 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Wands, the 5 of Swords. It's always an adversity, right? So this is them. And if you see this person is haunted. You don't know the things I've seen, right? They look haunted by what they've seen, but they also look wise because their eyes are blue. Because of this adversity, they're finally downloading, seeing, integrating truth. And that's why these cycles are closing out. That's why these cycles are closing out. They are remembering who they are. And my twin and I are friends, and we were talking about this very same thing quite recently. And we were talking about, you know, when we come into this world, we know exactly who we are. As children, we know exactly who we are. We know exactly how limitless we are, wonderful we are, beautiful we are, great we are. I mean, if you think about a child, you know, the way that they clap and pat themselves on the back when they believe that they've done something wonderful, and they're just full of joy. And then we just start educating them. Rarely we start curtailing them. We start, you know, limiting them with all own ideas. These are not truths. These are all truths. They're not truths. They're not true to the person. They're not true to the child. But they're true to you because that's been your experience, whether through your own trauma and your own pain. And we start putting that and projecting that on the person until, they become mini-me. And we think that that's good parenting. But perhaps good parenting is allowing this child to reach their fullest potential. And to do that is not to limit them with your own fears, insecurities, and experiences. I don't know. Their energy towards you. Be free. Do what you want. This is what they see you doing. They see you shining your light. They see you living your best life. You're being free and doing what you want. And that's inspiring them to be free as well. You have broken free from the limit. And it was 555. When I said that, you have broken free from the limitations of your programming and of your family, of your parents, right? And maybe they did, and maybe they went a little further than their parents, and maybe their parents went a little further than their parents, right? So every generation should build upon the progress of the last in all aspects, spiritually and otherwise. All right, so let's go. And I think that's why there's so many starseeds being born right now. It's because past generations, gradually, incrementally, you've made a world where they're able to really emerge and make some kind of change. When I look at the new generation, they're so wonderfully different from the last, body as a house. Okay, so it's like body as a temple, kind of energy. And they feel like you embody the divine. They feel like you use your body as a vessel in which the divine lives and the divine also shines. This is how they see you. They see you tapped in. Look, connected by your galactic cord above. Like I can say in all of my meditations, connected by a galactic cord above and connected by your roots down below. And then you're not just receiving this, right? So yes, you're receiving through the crown, but you're also projecting it outward. You're giving that beautiful light and love out. And maybe you're doing that just by being, but whatever you're doing, they feel it. They feel this energy. They feel this power. And they are inspired by it. It's a card number 71. And 71 reduced to 8. And 8 is about strength. So they see you as a very powerful person in all aspects. You're grounded in the 3D. But there is this ethereal quality about you that they absolutely love and they find is incredibly unique. Beautiful. Alrighty. I don't think I need to pull cards on those, right? That was plain as day. All right, now let's have a look at how your person is feeling at this time. Could be about you, could be really, it's just generally, because that's going to give us insight. If you can't go to the extended, it's going to give us insight as to what's happening in their world, in their environment. Let's see how they're feeling generally. We have optimistic, beautiful, beautiful energy. All right. I think the last one we had hope, right? I think so. The last reading we had hope. All right, they are obsessed. What are they obsessed with? I think they're obsessed with you. I don't know. I'll pull some cards to see what they're obsessed with. Ooh. They feel pathetic. Ooh, okay. All right, so we got some dark night of the soul energies here. Feeling bitter. Okay. We're going to pull some cards because I am not going to. Yeah, they are operating in their shadow self. Okay, so what I'm getting here, this is dark night of the soul energy. Okay, because the overall energy is the remembrance, right? It is about awakening and rebirth. But all these cards here that suggest depression, anytime we get that depression and that rebirth energy together, it definitely feels like an ego death. It's incredibly painful, right? And we're kind of low vibing when we're going through that. But the amount of insights and epiphanies that we get when we're in that space, bar none. Let's pull some cards on these. We're gonna see what they are obsessed and bitter about. So they are actively doing some shadow work right now. And perhaps that explains the haunted look in their eyes. Yeah, they're taking out the trash. The trash guy just came. They're taking out the trash. So everything that does not serve them is gone. All right, we have here the Three of Wands. This could be a card of procrastination. This could be a card of waiting. But this is someone, they're not waiting because they want to wait. They're waiting, or they are taking their time, rather, because they're tapped in. You see this person, look, they're plugged in. They're plugged into spirit. And it's like spirits are telling them, like, don't rush. Right? Don't rush. Don't rush. Don't rush this process. Because I feel like for your person, maybe they feel like they're already on borrowed time with regard to you. And maybe that is true. But spirit is letting them know, don't rush this process. Don't leave this half done. Right? This is not something that you can rush. You can't force the rose to blossom. You have to allow that bud to unfurl. All right, what are they obsessed with? The Emperor, obsessed with being your counterpart. They might be obsessed with doing very well in the material world, but it's not just to have material gain. It is to be the partner that they think you want them to be. And they're obsessed with having that now, right? Nine of Pentacles in reverse. They have never felt good enough. They never felt good enough to be your counterpart. Now they feel like, you know what? If they get stable in the material world, just maybe, they might be good enough. So this is them trying to work on themselves, because they want to be a pillar of strength for you. Because this Emperor here, he has the pentacles in his hand, yes, but he also has the wand in the other, right? So grounded and yet tapped in. Then he also has a lamb near his feet that suggests nurturing. And there's all these animals and plants around them, okay? And they're doing all of this in an environment that's not nourishing. It's only cactus all around. So this person is in the desert. So they're doing this all on their own without support from other persons. So it feels like them trying to come into their own. And it's the same energy of shedding the ego, shedding everything that you were told, shedding everything that you were taught, and returning to that self that was limitless. This is what they're doing. They're recognizing that half of their issues aren't their own. That's their mother, father, grandfather, grandmother stories. It's not even their own. We have pathetic. What are they feeling pathetic about? We have temperance. And we have Tower of Tara, which I leave in for Ace of Pentacles. Your person, I told you, they want to be that rock, that person you can count on. They want to have your back. And I feel, this card always reminds me of that romantic show Ghost with Patrick Swayze, right? With Patrick Swayze, right? That whole pottery scene. So they want to create something with you. They want to be the person that you turn to when you need support, when you need advice, when you need a listening ear. They want to be that for you. They want to be the rock. They want to be the rock. They want to be the rock, but they're just not there yet. There's an energy of just not being good enough. And this is something that they've always had. They've tried to cover it over with material things, with bravado and having all kind of different people around them. But at core, this person doesn't feel good enough. And this is what they're actively working on. Now, they are bitter about Nine of Swords. And that's about depression. Could be about fears. And we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. They are bitter that they allowed their insecurities, their fears to sabotage one of the best things that ever happened to them, which was your relationship, meeting you and your connection, right? They allowed all their fears, all their wounding to just take over. It's like there was just too much chatter, a lot of intrusive thoughts, and it basically sabotages connection. So now looking back on that, they realize that's exactly what they did. Maybe at the time they were saying that you guys were incompatible, or they may have blamed it on you, whatever it is. But no, this was their own intrusive thoughts. It had nothing to do with you. They realized that they were operating in their shadow self. We have Two of Wands. And we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. So now they see the truth. And now they want to move in a different direction. They see the truth. And the truth was that they were operating in their shadow self. We all have this little, alter ego that can be activated when we feel threatened. And it feels like this person felt very threatened by you and your connection. So you may not have seen their best self at all. Maybe you were just encountering their shadow. And that doesn't give them a pass, but certainly might give us some insight as to how they operate. Okay, now let's look at what's happening in your person's life at this time. Let me look at, because reconciliation deck. What's happening in your person's life at this time? We have codependent issues, right? I think this is what they are recognizing, because I'm coupling it with this short-term results card. I think your person may have had an addiction or many addictions, and an addiction could be anything. When we hear addiction, we always talk about, some people, we go immediately to substance abuse, but it could be food, it could be shopping, it could be binge watching YouTube videos, TikTok videos. I'm sure you're watching that Risa Tisa series, aren't you? Right? Right? I think maybe I'm the only person in the world that's not following it. Right? But binge watching those things, that's about disconnecting from yourself. That's about tuning out, your reality. And maybe and that's okay. Once we're not doing it chronically, right? That's okay. Sometimes you just have to tune out the world, right? And that's okay once it's not affecting your relationships, your work, your sleep. To watch that, okay? So this person recognizing that they got issues. They have issues and addictions that they use to disconnect, and it's only brought them very short-term results. They understand now that if they want long-term results and if they want healthy relationships in all aspects of their life, they have to do the work. And that they have to release these little placeholders that they have going on here. No, I'm not going to say it yet. If I get a signal, I will. What's happening in a person's life? We have an ex is involved. So definitely for some of you, there could be a third party present right now. And maybe that third party could be family members, but I don't get that. It could be there's a third party, like an intimate partner present right now that might soon be an ex. Or it could be the energy of an ex is still very much enmeshed in this person's energy field, meaning like there was no proper closure. Okay, maybe what happened, they never was able to debrief from that experience, and that may have influenced how they interacted with you and how they interact with other people, right? So it looks like there's some kind of, I won't call it PTSD, maybe it is, right? That's it. That's involved here, and maybe they're seeing that now, that they never really debrief from that experience, and they've just been carrying around this pain and using, all these little things and people to disconnect from the pain. We have speak up. So this is what they're doing. Maybe they're getting that closure that they needed. Maybe they're speaking their truth to people. I'll pull some cards on that for you guys. We'll see what they're speaking up about. Maybe they have contacted this ex to get the closure that they need. We have social media connection. Maybe you guys might be at a distance from each other, or maybe you mainly communicate through social media, but it feels like they want this now to be real. We have temporary. It feels like they might be reaching out soon, or maybe they'll ask to meet up soon. Okay, but whatever space that they might be taking right now is just temporary. They need that to really process what is required at this time. All right, so let's pull some cards on these. All right, what's this thing about an ex being involved? We have the 5 of Pentacles, right? So you see all this thing that they've been doing. So binge eating, drinking. For some of them, they're hoarding shit. It's all because, or wearing a mask. There's a mustache here. It's all because there was a situation with an ex that they never really got over, that they never really processed the ending of, and they're only doing that now. Even if they're in a relationship currently with somebody else, I feel like there's a relationship prior, even to that karmic relationship, that really made an impression, or maybe even a soul scar on this person. We have speak up. We have the Hanged Man in reverse. And the 7 of Wands in reverse. Right, they're seeing now that at that time they just didn't have the wisdom, the knowledge and experience to deal with that situation. They're seeing as well that they didn't have appropriate boundaries to speak up for what they needed, or to speak up against the things that may have been done to them in that relationship. Okay, what's a social media connection? We have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Maybe this is someone that they met over social media, right? Queen of Wands in reverse is a karmic energy. All right. And we have the Hermit. So it feels like all of this may be related to a past relationship. I don't think it's a current one. I think that your person may have met someone on social media before you, and it looks like this person abandoned them, and it made such an impression on your person that they just projected all that wounding onto you. So maybe just before they met you, okay, that happened. What's this temporary? We have King of Cups in reverse. So what you met was not their true self, their real self, or even the person that they were before they met you. What you met was their pain. What you met was a wounded animal. And when animals are wounded, they will always strike out and try to defend themselves. So you did not meet the real person. You met the wounded aspect of themselves. You met their pain. Let's see what's happening spiritually right now with your person. What's happening to them spiritually? We have clear cognizance, right? The knowing. So I think right now your person, their psychic abilities are really expanding. And not only is expanding, and maybe it's expanding because they're listening, or maybe they're listening because it's expanding. I don't know. Could be a chicken and egg thing, right? But I think, it's just like everything, right? As you use it, it becomes stronger and it expands, right? So I feel like because they're listening, their ability to hold light, to listen, is expanding. We have mirroring. Whatever your person is going through now, you are also going through. Whatever you are going through, they are also going through. And that's going to give you a lot of insight as to what's happening in their life. All right, we have researching twin flames. So know that your person is doing a lot of research on this twin flame connection because they want to understand you. They want to understand your beliefs, and they want to understand what is this thing that they feel with you, and what's the purpose of this connection. We have secrets. So they may acknowledge that there are things that they have never told you. And then we have a hard cord. So it feels like they are feeling you really keenly at this time, so much so that they are being guided to do research on twin flames higher level soulmate connections. Okay, now they have some secrets here. Let's see what that is. I mean, this could be secrets of the universe, right? We have 10 of Wands. So what they're keeping from you, and we have the 4 Swords reverse. What they're keeping from you is the depth of their trauma, their pain. You don't know it all. You don't know what this person's been through. And I don't think they've ever shared it, rarely, with anyone. There's a lot of things that are weighing them down. A lot of things on their mind. They may feel burnt out. They may feel overwhelmed. But maybe every time you ask them something, I'm okay, right? That's all they're telling you, that they're okay. But rarely they're not, because they want you to perceive them as strong. They want you to perceive them as your rock. So they're not going to divulge how they really feel inside. Now let's ask Spirit, What's occupying their thoughts as a priority at this time? We have adjustment, and this is a justice card. We have 3 of Wands. We have the 8 of Pentacles. And we have the 9 of Wands. All right. So what is occupying their thoughts as a priority? Well, number one, working on themselves, really recharging and dealing with their stuff. Okay? And they're being guided by spirit not to rush this process. Right? They gotta work on their stuff. The other thing that is occupying their thoughts as a priority is how they can give back to you the way that you have given to them, given the totality of both of your circumstances. Okay? How can they show up for you? How can they support you? And maybe that's why they're researching twin flames as well, right? They want to see how they can fit in with your life currently, and then what role they will play in your life in the future. So they're going to find little ways of giving back and giving to this connection. Okay? So whether it's by, initiating contact, or, supporting your dreams, or being there for you to talk to, whatever it is, they're going to try to find ways to support your efforts, your dreams, your life, to be there for you. All right. So we will take the rest to the extended, right, where we look at your connection. If there's a third party, we're going to look at that. We're going to look at their next actions towards you. And we're going to look at what's the dominant advice that they're getting about you and from whom. But if you can't join me in extended, let me get this advice from Spirit for you. Underneath the deck, we have solitude, right? So it looks like solitude is not just benefiting them. It's also to benefit you. It says, in silence, peace prevails, right? So Spirit say, enjoy this time. If you are alone, enjoy this time alone. Enjoy this time in solitude, and really cultivate that sense of peace in your life, that sense of stillness, because that's when those beautiful messages from Spirit really come through, when there's no chatter. Okay? What's the message here for you today? We have, again, finding sanctuary, right? It says, open up to your spiritual source. So that's what Spirit wants you to do right now. To open up to Spirit, open up to the beauty and wonder of Source for you that they want you to have. Okay? All right, my love, so that was your reading. Can I ask you to like, to share, to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already? Please put a comment down below. You can put the date that you watch this reading. You can make a comment, say thank you. You can put an emoji. You can put a full stop. The algorithm doesn't care. But it really helps this video to circulate. And if you're able to interact with any of the ads that may have played during this reading, that's also a good energy exchange. If you can purchase extended, purchase readings, that is also a wonderful energy exchange. Classes start this Saturday, and that's Saturday, the 2nd of March. Saturday, we have the Advanced Spirit Release Therapy class. And on Sunday, we have the Spiritual Recalibration Therapy class. Now, for the advanced SRT, you would have had to do basic XRT, right? So if you're now starting out, that's not going to be the class for you. But if you're not psychically developed, or you're just on the beginning of your journey, maybe this international certification in spiritual recalibration might be for you, because all you need is a pendulum. And even if you don't know how to use a pendulum, I do teach you in class. So I'm going to put the link for that down below to see if that would be something that you'd be interested in. And it's going to be this Sunday. And it's just a one-off. It's just 2 hours for the certification process. Okay? My love. So Thank you very much. If you can't join me in extended, let's look at what's happening to your person there. Take care.